All 16 of the Paradox forms have officially leaked, and it may sway your decision on which game you want to play, Scarlet versus Violet. I know it's certainly impacting mine. Let's take a look. All right, man, I'm excited for this. Guys, Paradox forms, we saw the Donphan yesterday, and this is much like kind of this game's version of Mega Evolutions. They look really, really wicked, and I'm really excited about them. I'm so excited to talk about them. But as you guys know, we have to be mindful of the posting of the leaks and stuff. So we are going to be using some kind of blurred fan art images and stuff. So we'll try to put all the sources on the screen for all the artists and everyone who's kind of taking part of this. But it is wild stuff, man. I'm very excited. So let's just dive in. Let's take a look at Scarlet first, and then we'll talk Violet. So Scarlet starts off with the Donphan, and I'm going to mess up these names. They all have special names, and it's weird. They're actually named like that. So, like, Great Tusk is actually the name of it. That's the name of the Pokemon. It's not like a code name. They're almost like cryptids in a way, right? So Great Tusk Donphan looks fierce as heck. He's got very sharp teeth. I love his tusk. Basically looks like Mamoswine meets like Toxapex meets all this stuff. And he's ground and fighting, it looks like. Ground and fighting for Great Tusk. So very, very cool. Great typing as well. Ground and fighting is a phenomenal typing. I do believe like stats and stuff leaked as well, but I'm going to cover that in a different video because we're still waiting on all the stats to come out. So we'll do that in a separate video. So again, make sure you guys subscribe. The next one is Volcarona's kind of version. It's the Scarlet version of Volcarona, which is called Slitherwing. And this may be one of my favorite Pokemon designs of all time, dude. I'm not even lying. This thing looks insane. Y'all know I love bug types. This being a Scarlet exclusive means that I probably am doing my bug only run on Scarlet. I was previously going to do Violet. It's fine. I'm going to play both either way, so it's not a big deal to me. But to me, this is S tier design. Like, this is a phenomenal design. I don't really see the fighting aspect of it from the screenshot that we have, but it looks awesome. Like, we were told it was like Larvesta, but Volcarona, and it looks really cool. I'm so excited for this. There's no doubt about it. The next one is the Amoonguss form. I think this one is Brute Bonnet, if I'm not mistaken, Grass and Dark. Not 100% sure, but this is one of the ones that was leaked a long, long time ago. Amoonguss looks angry, man. Looks so angry. Has these crazy, wicked teeth. Hard to really see everything else going on, but it seems like there's some spikes going on its head. A very interesting Pokemon. I'm not the biggest fan of Amoonguss, but right now, legit, my boy Donphan and Volcarona are carrying. And then we've actually got the Jigglypuff one. Jigglypuff is apparently fairy and psychic, and its nickname or its name is Scream Tail. And actually, it's hard to see in the picture that we have, but it has a tail that like flows off of the back of its head to its back, and it looks ridiculous, man. It actually looks crazy. It's like a little vampire Jigglypuff. Again, this is one of the ones that had leaked from Kaká way, way back. So far, Amoonguss, Jigglypuff are kind of meh. And then you get to Misdreavus. Misdreavus is codename Fluttermane. I shouldn't call it codename, that's its name. Fluttermane, and it's Ghost and Fairy. To me, this is one of the worst of the Paradox forms design-wise. It doesn't look all that crazy or all that great in my opinion, but it kind of just is what it is. If you're a Misdreavus fan, you're gonna like it. Ghost and Fairy is a cool typing, so like no hate there. It's nice to see that typing. Like Mimikyu, very good, and from a special perspective, it could be really offensive, so I'm down for that. So I might get some of the names messed up on this one. We do actually have Magneton. I'm not sure what the name of this Magneton is, and it's really wicked because it's got these like weird kind of spikes hanging off of it. It's got these really large magnets. It's kind of hard to tell exactly what's going on with the Paradox Magneton, but it's certainly very interesting. Again, not something that I would go crazy over, but it's pretty cool, I guess. Salamence is really the one that I think is gonna make people want to go Scarlet. And it's Roaring Moon, I believe. So it's Dragon and Dark type. So it actually takes Hydreigon's typing and gets the Dark typing, and it is wicked, dude. Like, it looks like something out of like a scary movie, like a dragon coming after you. It is a very, very cool design. Its wings look awesome. It looks awesome in general. I'm all about it. And then of course you got Koraidon, which is your legendary Pokemon. So to me, like the Volcarona and the Donphan are S tier designs. The rest of them are solid, but honestly carried hard by that Volcarona in my opinion. Let me know which one from Scarlet is your favorite. And then moving on to Violet, we've got some really cool designs too. And I think I could see people liking one or the other based on things. They obviously have very futuristic designs. So we know about the Donphan. That's Iron Treads. It's Ground and Steel. Kind of a meh typing. Nothing too special there. We already obviously know about that. Then you've got the boy Volcarona, which actually loses its bug typing. And it's Fire and Poison. Iron Moth, it's called. It looks pretty wicked. It's like a mecha moth. It's pretty cool. Obviously loses bug typing, which is sad. Fire Poison's kind of cool. Gives me some Naganadel type vibes. I really like the wing one, Slitherwing, I think it's called. I really like that one in Scarlet. This one's pretty dope, though. I actually do think the Volcarona in Violet is pretty sick. Then you've got Iron Valiant, which I believe is the Gallade Gardevoir hybrid, so it's like kind of both of them, which is really interesting as a future Paradox form. So that's one that I think a lot of people are going to dig. If you're a Gardevoir or Gallade fan, it looks pretty wicked, so not too shabby there. Then we've got the Hariyama, which I'm actually really excited about this one. I think this one is Iron Hands. It's Fighting and Electric. Fighting and Electric. That's a typing we've actually never had before. I think a lot of people speculated that Palmy might be Fighting and Electric, but I'm pretty sure we don't have Fighting and Electric. So if that thing has that wicked attack stat, that could be very, very good. Like, Hariyama's a beast. Fighting Electric is kind of sick. So I'm quite excited to see what's going on with Hariyama there in terms of how powerful it is. It's just like a big mecha Hariyama. I don't know, man. These Pokemon are so weird looking. The future ones are so weird looking, man. It's hard to kind of get used to them because they almost look like they could all be steel types or like futuristic digital versions. I'm curious how the Pokemon world like expands on these things down the road as we kind of look more into these Paradox forms and what they mean for the future of the franchise. Before I cover the last couple, if you guys haven't pre-ordered Pokemon Scarlet and Violet yet, you can actually do so with my link in the description below at Best Buy. It doesn't cost you anything extra. You get all the pre-order bonuses you would normally get, and it actually helps me out a ton. So it's a great way to support the channel and what I do without spending any extra money or doing anything out of the norm. If you're gonna get the game already or the double pack, just use it my link at Best Buy. And like I said, they hook me up a ton. Like, they give me like a serious hookup every time you guys do that. So feel free to do that if you're gonna buy the game anyway. Thanks. Then we've got the Delibird Iron Bundle, which is water and ice, so it loses its flying typing, gets water typing, which is ideal, I guess, for Delibird in this case. It looks like a steel penguin, so I I don't have too much to say about Iron Bundle, I guess. Weird names, man. I feel like the names are... Why didn't they just give them Pokemon names? I guess that's like one of the things that's kind of weird to me, but we'll see how it plays out in the story and stuff. Then you've got Hydreigon. Hydreigon is going to be Iron Jugulus. So it does still have the one big head. It doesn't look that good in the screenshot that we have, but that could just be not seeing it animated. It almost looks like the other two heads became like arms or something, but they may still be heads. And it's got like a frill on it, almost like a Heliolisk type frill behind it. So it's certainly an interesting looker. I'm not the biggest fan of the Hydreigon. I think the Salamence wins there. But if you're comparing directly, you've got Tyranitar next. And I think this one is Iron Thorns, Rock and Electric. So he actually keeps his rock typing, has electric typing, and looking like a beast. I actually think Mecha Tyranitar looking pretty cool. So we get what we were looking for, man. You got your Mothra, you've got your Godzilla. You know, we got the whole shebang here with your Mecha Pokemon, and it's a very interesting collection of Pokemon for sure for the Paradox forms. Then of course you've got your Legendary to round it out for Violet. So when I look at these two lists, man, I'm torn because I really think that they have wins and standouts for both. To me, in Scarlet, Donphan wins, the Volcarona wins. I really like that one. I think the Salamence is phenomenal. So I'm going to give that 3 points. And then when you look at Violet, I think if I were to give points out, I would give points personally. I think the Volcarona looks pretty cool. I like the T-Tar. And then I think I would give the Hariyama a point. And if you don't like the Hariyama, I think you give the Gardevoir a point. To me, the Mecha Donphan is a meh. The Delibird's a meh. The Hydreigon, from what we've seen, is meh, but it may be redeemed in actual art. Some of them are pretty cool, though. Man, it's tough. It's tough. I'll tell you what. I'm glad we got to see them, though, because now I have a better idea of how I want to do my playthroughs and stuff. So I'm excited for that, man. But these Paradox forms are nuts. Basically taking the place of Mega Evolution in this game in a way. And we'll do full breakdowns on their stats and everything in another video. So stay tuned for that. Hope you guys enjoy. Let me know what your favorite Paradox form is in the comment section below. You already know what mine is. It's wild. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.